Welcome to the St. James Surgery Center. St. James Surgery Center is a dedicated facility 100% focused on cataract and laser surgery. St. James Surgery Center is a new, elegant facility with state-of-the-art equipment. There are no sick patients at our facility, minimizing the exposure of disease or illness. Easy access, walk in and walk out with no hassles or headaches. St. James Surgery Center has a large, dedicated staff with a nurse-to-patient ratio of 2:1. Our staff takes the time to explain the entire surgery process. We have private interview rooms where all questions are answered before being escorted into surgery. No patient is ever rushed in or out of the facility. The St. James Surgery Center gets its name from the Roman Catholic parish in the heart of downtown Arctic. The Diocese of Providence closed the church in 2004, 132 years after Father James Gibson purchased the property. It was the home parish for the Koch family during their years growing up in West Warwick, the church they attended, where they made their first communion and confirmations, and the school they attended from 1st through 8th grade. When Father Gibson bought the land on Main Street, it included an extensive grove of trees. He built a large building and named it Grove Hall, a meeting place for the Irish immigrants of the area. In 1891, the hall renovations were begun, and in 1894 the building was consecrated as a church. Photographs of that beautiful church, courtesy of the West Warwick Historical Society, are hanging in the waiting room of the surgery center. In 1894, a rectory was built that is still standing today. The following year, a combination school and convent were built. That building originally had 2 stories, and a third was added in 1924. In 1959, Father Thomas Greeley decided that a new church was needed, and it was built just north of the rectory, on the corner of Main Street and St. Mary's Street. It was dedicated on May 22, 1960, in a ceremony that included both Koch brothers as altar boys. The 1893 church was torn down later that year. The original line drawing of the new church hangs in our waiting room today. In 2004, the diocese made the decision to close St. James and merge the parish with St. John the Baptist a few blocks away on Washington Street. St. James Church was shuttered, and the for sale sign was hung out front. Peter Koch made the bold move to contact the diocese and offer to salvage and preserve a number of artifacts from the church. The diocese happily agreed, and the historic preservation project was begun. The first item selected was the pulpit, originally donated to the church in 1960 by Dr. and Mrs. Peter Koch, parents of Peter, Dr. Paul, and Dr. Patty. It sits in a special alcove built for it in a quiet area of the center. You may find yourself sitting on the bench from the altar if you are waiting for a ride in the vestibule of the center. Across from you, in the corner, is the original baptismal font. Decorating the small passage near the rest areas is the original votive candle stand. The altar tables and the lectern were not only saved and preserved, they are still used whenever lectures and educational forums are held at the new St. James. A number of smaller objects, like altar candlesticks, are on display in special alcoves in the private areas of the center. The Koch family is pleased to have been able to play a small role in keeping the memory of St. James Church alive, and pray that St. James the Elder smiles on our center, guides its staff, and blesses all those who seek care here.